get roads paved here. Now, they would come in and they would even tell you which mileage, it would be less than 2 miles that they would pave. But we only had to pay 10% of that. Now with this T-SPLOST thing, we're having, since we did not pass it in our region, we have to pay 33% to handle that. So yes, it's affected us, it's affected cities. The problem with the whole thing is that our region went from Rockmart to Dalton. And for us to be able to take that 1 penny and take that money and split it up, all of those factions in that area were going to have to get together and decide what their projects are going to be and then divvy out the money. And it's just another headache that you don't want.
No, I misunderstood the question. You're talking about what we voted on last. I thought you said it was coming back again.
It never went away.
Okay, because you're talking about the ones that voted it in, then the punishment part I was talking about. We're spending money down
I'm
there.
talking about repealing the.
I would be.
The mayor, I think, would probably, you sit on the board down there, and in case anybody doesn't know it, this is, in the bill itself, it comes up repeated. It does not stop coming up.
Yeah.
And us beating it that one time, that's why I asked the question. That's
It's
why
probably going to be like your regular
actual stuff come
SPLOST.
up here.
It would come up and be voted on a regular basis.
That's right.
You know, I would appeal it. And Walker County, as it turned out, just about got every penny they paid in. That's the way it was set up. But if we'd have voted it in, but it still was redistribution of wealth. And all of a sudden, we were not all Atlantans, in my opinion, that I didn't want to spend any money, send any money down there. And I'll say again, if a legislature thinks it's imperative that we have this spending, let's raise the sales tax from 4 to 5%. That's what they're down there for. That's their job, is to manage this state. And if it's that important, then put your name on the line, raise taxes, and see if you have your job back. Don't depend on me to vote it in. That's all I have to say about it. Don't depend on me to vote in as a voter at the ballot box.
Any other comments on this issue?
Assuming that it is the same, I mean, that would be a case. I just have not had a chance to read it, and
It's not on.
lawyers are funny. We want to read something.
Charles?
My question was regarding, actually goes back to the ethics. Unfortunately, our representatives were able to sell us a bill that ethics is only about lobbyists. But to me, one of the biggest train wrecks and biggest trains that are coming down the track I see is where the federal government has learned how to deflect criticism by creating mandates on the states. And now states have taken the chapter from them and are creating mandates on the counties and on the cities to deflect from them. And then the cities and counties are learning it to deflect it on regional commissions and such. So is there anything you can see that can be done that can stem back a tide of all these mandates that the states are putting on the counties and on the cities, such as T-SPLOST, such as these things? Because all it is just deflected. It's not their responsibility now. It's out of their hands. It's on the regional commissions. You know, it's up to them to how they spend the money. So it just deflects all their, what they have to answer for.
Doug?
Well, and it actually goes sort of a step further, because going back to this tax increase that Keith brought up in Catoosa County, that was partially as a result of the state going, well, you need to do these things, but we're not going to give you the money at all. It wasn't a matter of here's money, you learn how to spend it, you figure it out for yourself. It was, we're decreasing your funding, and of course I think there were some federal grants that fell by the wayside as well. The state doesn't need to be involved if they're not going to provide the means with which to do what they say we should be doing at a local level. One of the things that I believe in is local control. And so if you're going to tell us to do something, give us the means to do it with. Otherwise, get the heck out, basically.
Neil?
I would say that I don't know the answer to your question. Other than seceding from the union, I don't know what we could do to keep our state viable, because we have to do everything that comes down through there.
I'm referring to what the state puts down on the cities.
Well,
and
that's
counties.
exactly right. Of course, it's come from the federal level, because they don't have the money. But okay, we faced this problem. We faced it for 20 years, unfunded mandates, where they come in and they tell you what you're going to have to do with our water treatment plant. They have come in and decided that we need to test within a certain microgram of silver or metal or whatever in your water that you're discharging into the creek so that you're not going to hurt the wildlife. When they passed that bill, there wasn't a machine that could measure that to that level. But we're still having to try to come up with the money to be able to do this. So when they put that on the cities, then we have to go borrow the money to be able to treat the water, to be able to put it back into the streams. These unfunded mandates not only cover that, they cover other things too. Roads, streets, bridges, anything that you do.
But
comes in.
that also goes to the ethics of it. That's an unethical bill. If there's not even something to measure, how can you pass it? And we had our people pass it.
Steve?
We have lost Washington. We cannot solve this through Washington. It has to be solved at the state level. It has to be solved strictly standing on the 9th and 10th Amendment. And what Neil was talking about, I dealt with Title V, we were a Title V company and had to apply for a permit. 1 part per billion is 1 foot in relation to here in Macon, Georgia. And these are the minute particles that they don't want in your wastewater, even something you would find in the water normally at levels even that high. The budget is $20 billion, but you're talking about a $40 billion business down there. And over 40% of our budget comes from the federal government. What's happened to us, we as people, whether we're retired, I'm fixing to go on Social Security, my mother and mother-in-law live on the farm with me, they're on Social Security, Medicare. We've become dependent on the government, and our state has become dependent on the government. And these unfunded mandates are going to get larger and larger and larger. And what that stems from is, when I'm not smiling, I'm hearing what you say. And what I'm hearing what you say is you want government out of your business. I heard it loud and clear. And when you talk about coalitions, I want to put together a coalition of people, some of those younger guys down there that have a little bit of liberty-mindedness about them in the Constitution. And I invite you to go to my website, stevetarbin.com, and see what I stand on the issues. I wrote every one of them.